not eating anything, they're only drinking. And our call is really towards the Israeli government, but also towards the Israeli people to do what we need to do in order to bring them all home. A large, significant majority of the Israeli public supports a deal, supports the completion of this deal that is going on. And so we are here fighting for the Israeli society that we believe in. And fighting that other people. I said when I started the hunger strike, I called it an act of radical solidarity. Why we're not hunger striking to death. We're not intending on hurting ourselves or killing ourselves. We don't think that anybody in the government is all of a sudden going to open their heart and feel bad because of, if they weren't feeling bad enough because of the hostage families and because of the hostages and the hostages who are returning and seeing what they're going through. If that doesn't do it, I don't think me sitting and being hungry is going to do it. But we do want to display for the Israeli people a model of radical solidarity, of we need to be there for our friends, for our brothers and sisters, because really in Israel, everybody here feels the hostages, the brace, the necklaces. I think mine got torn by the police the other day. The necklaces say, "Our heart is captive in Gaza," in Hebrew. And no, in English it says "Bring them home now," but in Hebrew, in the mother tongue, it says "Our heart is captive in Gaza." And they actually did a study. There's a study, there's a peer-reviewed, published study on the effects of the hostage situation on the Israeli public in general. It said 93% of Israelis have constant thoughts of worry and pressure and stress about the hostages. 93% of people, these aren't family members, but they're walking around and it's affecting public health, because we really feel like we are all a big family. A lot of times people walk by and they ask us, they see that we're here for the hostages, they say, "Oh, are you family members?" Orna's not a family member, I'm not a family member. There's only one family member who joined the hunger strike, because the family members have been going through hell for a year. It's not for them to hunger strike. The idea really is for us, our belief is that all of the Israeli population, Israeli citizens, need to display that level of solidarity in order to bring them home. So after we started the hunger strike, there's a group of doctors, some of them from the Gaza envelope, and they went on strike. They were actually doctors who were dealing with the population who were most directly affected, family members of hostages. Some of their former they had patients who are now hostages, and they stopped their work because they saw that all of the people they're treating can't actually heal themselves. They can't begin really the path towards healing. They're not in post-trauma, they're in trauma. And as long as the hostages are there, they're all still in a state of trauma. So they said, you know what, we need to stop what we're doing in order to come here, in order to make this call to bring back the hostages so that Israeli society can start building. After that, there was a big initiative of doctors, psychologists, social workers. There's also a group of social workers who came here and who are constantly here supporting this tent encampment. And there's a group of doctors who have been giving hundreds of lectures in all of the major hospitals in order to show, really medically, scientifically, what effect this situation is having. So this is something, personally, I think it's actually a strength of Israeli society. Some people think that strength is only measured in F-35s and in bombs and in explosions and in things like that. But I think in Israeli society, there's an understanding that our strength is in, first and foremost, in those connections, in that level of solidarity that we have with one another. And then after that, we're surrounded, unfortunately, by enemies who want to destroy us. That's not a question. It's not a question that Hamas behaved as monsters and they did monstrous things, and that there are still people who want to destroy us. That's true. That's going to be true whether we bring the hostages back or don't bring the hostages back. but the core of our existence here, we feel, and the strength of Israeli society is about the way we value life and the way we look at each other as family. And I'll say also that valuing life is also about stopping this war and allowing the people of Gaza to start to rebuild their lives as well. And that's also something that we want to see. We don't want to see innocent people suffer. We want to see Hamas gone. We don't want people on our borders who want to destroy us, but we don't want any innocent people to suffer. So this is really the strength of Israeli society, and when I was hunger striking, I felt a lot stronger than I do when I'm not, because and everybody who is on